All right, let's take a deep dive into Out of My Mind.
That was good.
So these excerpts he sent over, they're incredible. Really powerful stuff, you know?
Definitely.
Sharon Draper writes from 10-year-old Melody's perspective, and she has cerebral palsy. So it's not just like a summary of the plot, but we're going to like really explore how Melody challenges how we think about ability and disability and what it means to have a voice, you know?
It's remarkable, the way Draper just throws you right into Melody's world.
Yeah,
It's not just reading about her experiences. It's like feeling them.
I know.
The way she describes her physical limitations, too.
Yeah.
Like she says, balance like zip,
Wow.
and compares herself to Humpty Dumpty.
Right.
I mean, you instantly understand,
Yeah.
right, the frustration of a mind that's so sharp,
Totally.
but trapped in a body that won't cooperate.
It's heartbreaking,
Yeah.
but hopeful, too.
No. Oh, absolutely.
All at the same time.
At the same time.
So we have Melody aware of how people see her in her pink wheelchair,
Yeah.
but inside, it's like a symphony.
She says that.
Right. She's got all this knowledge, colors and numbers and words, but she can't express it.
Right. You can't get it out.
I mean, can you imagine that frustration?
I mean, it really makes you question, like, how we even define intelligence
Right.
and ability.
Exactly.
And that's a challenge, I think, that's woven throughout the entire book.
For sure.
Take Dr. Hughley, for example.
Ugh, Dr. Hughley.
He examines Melody and basically dismisses her, like completely dismisses her cognitive ability.
Ugh, it's so infuriating.
Infuriating, right?
But it does set up a powerful dynamic, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Because then you've got Melody's mom just fiercely defending her.
Yes.
Telling Dr. Hughley that he could never understand Melody's struggle.
He has no idea.
It makes you think about who gets to decide what normal is.
Right.
And
Exactly.
how often we underestimate people
Yeah.
just based on, like, appearances.
All the time.
Yeah, it's a good reminder about
It is.
the need for advocates,
Oh,
like
yeah.
Melody's mom fighting for people who are overlooked.
Exactly. Overlooked or ignored.
But, there's another advocate in Melody's life,
Oh, yeah.
Mrs. V, her caretaker.
Mrs. V. I love Mrs. V.
This woman, oh my goodness.
She's incredible. Just a force of nature.
She's a force.
Instead of focusing on, what Melody can't do,
Right.
she looks for ways to nurture her
Yeah.
intellect.
Yeah.
I mean, think about her teaching methods. Like,
Oh, yeah.
they're a little
I consider
unconventional.
for sure.
Right. She encourages her to, roll over on her own, even letting her,
Fall.
fall
Yeah.
safely, of course.
Right, safely.
But to learn how to catch herself.
That's pretty out there.
Yeah, it might seem unorthodox,
Yeah.
but they challenge how we traditionally view disability and learning,
Yeah, it's like she understands that learning isn't one size fits all.
Exactly.
She pushes Melody beyond what,
Way beyond.
what everyone expects.
Yeah.
Flashcards and building sentences,
Hmm.
introducing her to music.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, just remarkable dedication
That's
to
it.
expanding Melody's world.
And that's where I think she starts to yearn for a voice. There's that scene where Melody sees
Yes.
a boy on TV who's communicating through a device.
Right.
And it dawns on her, like, oh,
Yeah.
I need more than single words, right?
Yeah.
To express all these thoughts.
That's the light bulb moment.
It is.
Right? Suddenly it's not just communication.
It's not just the basics.
It's about having a voice
a real voice.
that can really show who she is.
Right.
And that, I think, becomes more important as she goes to school.
Oh, yeah.
Because she goes to Spalding Street Elementary, which is a regular school.
Right. A regular school.
Yeah. But her experience is kind of back and forth
Yeah.
between inclusion and exclusion.
It's complicated.
So, she rides the special needs bus
Uh-huh.
and she's in H5,
Right.
which is a classroom with other students.
With their own challenges, yeah.
But she also gets to attend some classes with, quote, regular kids.
Yeah.
But even then, she feels isolated.
Yeah. Makes you think. Like,
Yeah.
is just being physically present enough?
Right. It shows the limitations, I think.
It does.
A system that focuses so much on
Yes.
just physical integration.
The physical part, yeah.
Without addressing the,
the social,
just emotional.
yeah, the social and emotional barriers.
Totally.
And so there are these moments of connection, like with Mrs. Lovelace.
In music class.
Right.
Yeah.
And she forms a bond with Rose.
Over music.
Right, over their love of music.
Yeah, and it gives her a glimpse of what it's like to be you know.
A regular kid.
A regular kid, right?
Just sharing secrets and stuff. Yeah, those little moments.
Yeah.
They make her want to break free from the confines of her disability.
For sure.
To experience the world, you know.
Yeah.
The way her peers do.
Like everyone else.
Yeah.
But even with those positive interactions, that frustration of not being able to fully participate.
It's always there.
Yeah.
It's clear.
She talks about, like, going crazy.
Yeah.
Because she knows the answers.
She has them.
But can't express them.
Can't get them out.
And then there's this seemingly insignificant event. A practice quiz.
Oh, yeah.
In Mr. Dimming's class.
Right.
This leads to a major turning point.
Big change.
In Melody's journey.
Things get interesting.
Yeah.
Because she aces that quiz.
Aces it.
Shocking everyone, I think.
Shocking everyone.
Especially Mr. Dimming.
Mr. Dimming, yeah.
He underestimated her.
Totally.
Big time.
And this leads to her being selected for the Whiz Kids competition team.
Right.
And this gets a whole range of reactions from her classmates. Oh, yeah.
So you've got Catherine, her aide, who's thrilled for her.
Right. She's happy.
And Rose is surprised.
Yeah.
Maybe a little jealous.
Yeah,
even.
happy.
But then there's Claire and Molly.
Oh, Claire and Molly.
And their negativity just hits hard.
It's rough.
They just flat out say that the team will look weird with Melody on it. It's just so blatant, you know.
Straight up prejudice.
Yeah, highlighting that social stigma.
Absolutely.
You know, that she faces, even in this supposedly inclusive setting.
It's like, despite her intelligence, right?
Yeah.
Claire and Molly just see her as a burden. Yeah.
Someone who's going to, like, hurt their image.
Right. It's a harsh reminder that physical integration, you know, doesn't always mean acceptance.
Doesn't mean acceptance at all.
No.
And thankfully, Mr. Dimming shuts that negativity down.
He does.
But that tension's still there.
Yeah, it's still lingering.
Under the surface.
It is.
But then amid all this...
Yeah. Melody gets her Medi-talker.
That's the good part.
This is such a great moment. Like,
it is.
The arrival of the box and unpacking it.
The excitement.
Right. It's like she's finally gotten the key to unlock her voice.
It's about liberation.
Yes.
You know, it's not just about communicating.
It's more than that.
It's about Melody being able to be herself.
Totally.
You know, express her humor and wit.
Yes, her personality.
Yeah.
And that scene where she uses it for the first time with her family.
Oh, it's just pure magic.
It is.
Being able to finally say, I love you to her parents.
Right.
And share a joke.
Yeah.
And make them laugh.
Makes them laugh.
It's just beautiful.
It's a testament to the power.
To the power of
communication and that human need for connection.
Absolutely.
And it's also a turning point in Melody's journey, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
Because the Medi-talker opens up all these new possibilities.
It does.
But it also brings her face-to-face.
Face-to-face with, yeah.
Yeah, with the realities of prejudice.
Especially with the Whiz Kids team.
Yeah, especially with the Whiz Kids.
You know, as she finds her voice,
right,
it really challenges the team dynamic.
It does. She's not holding back.
Not at all.
And that leads to moments of tension and triumph, I think.
Absolutely.
Because it's highlighting, like...
the complexity of
inclusion.
Inclusion.
And the struggle for acceptance.
Yeah, it's a constant struggle.
And Melody's resilience.
Oh, her resilience is amazing.
Shines through.
She refuses to be defined by the negativity.
Right.
The media attention.
Yeah.
That focuses on her being different.
Yeah, definitely.
Or the isolation.
Or the isolation.
She's determined.
Determined to keep going.
Yeah, to participate.
Yeah.
To stand up for herself.
To be heard.
To prove herself.
Yes. And then, of course, there's the trip.
Oh, the trip to
DC.
For the National Whiz Kids competition.
This is where things get really intense.
The anticipation starts building.
We know that the team goes without her.
Without her.
And the episode ends with her waking up
alone.
Alone.
In that hotel room.
Yeah.
Just completely abandoned.
Devastating cliffhanger.
Absolutely devastating.
What happened?
Yeah. What led to that?
So many questions.
We'll have to keep diving into Melody's world.
We'll have to find out.
To find out. You know that DC incident?
Oh, yeah.
It's more than just a plot twist.
Right.
I mean, it's a real crucible for Melody.
Definitely.
Think about it. Betrayal.
Yeah.
Abandonment. Self-doubt. All of that.
It forces her to confront, you know, some really harsh realities.
About the world.
About the world.
Yeah, and the people she thought she could trust.
Exactly.
I felt that so strongly.
I know.
Reading that part.
Yeah.
Just that, like, gut punch.
Oh, yeah.
Alongside her.
Totally.
Here she is.
Yeah.
Pouring her heart and mind.
Into this team.
Into this team.
Yeah.
Proving herself over and over.
Again. And they just leave her behind.
It's awful.
Like in this moment of supposed triumph.
Yeah, it's like they don't even see her.
They don't see her at all.
When she's disposable or something.
Right. And it's like...
It's really a reminder of...
It shows how quickly people...
Yeah, how quickly they can discard...
Yeah. People they see as different.
Different or less than.
Yeah.
Even after seeing what they can do.
Right. Even after seeing everything.
It's sad.
It is.
And in those moments, you know,
yeah,
when she's feeling so low,
yeah,
that's when that support system is so important.
It is so important.
And Mrs. V.
Mrs. V, oh my goodness.
She's there for her.
Yeah.
She doesn't sugarcoat anything.
Right.
She just tells it like it is.
But she validates her feelings.
She does.
Which is so important.
She says, you know,
yeah,
it's the team who messed up.
Yes.
You are not to blame.
Exactly.
That's what she needs to hear.
She needs to hear that.
Be reminded of.
It's that belief, I think.
Yes.
In her worth.
Her worth, yeah.
That helps her process it all.
It does.
It would be so easy to just,
oh, yeah,
you know, retreat.
Shut down.
Shut down, yeah.
But she doesn't.
But she doesn't.
She makes a choice.
A conscious choice.
To keep going.
Keep going.
To keep showing up.
Yeah, to continue with those inclusion classes.
Exactly.
And to not hide.
It's amazing.
I mean, that's resilience.
That's resilience.
Right there.
And then she confronts the team.
She does.
And they offer these, like...
Oh, the excuses are so flimsy.
Flimsy excuses, yeah.
No real apology.
Yeah.
But the fact that she uses her Medi-talker to demand an explanation...
Yes.
That's a win.
That's a win in itself.
It is.
Oh, I got chills reading that part.
Me too.
Especially when she says...
What does she say?
TV makes lots of people look funny.
Oh, yes.
Maybe even you, Claire.
That's good.
Oh, it's so good. It's like subtle but powerful. She's using her voice.
Her wit.
To challenge them.
Yes.
To challenge those who doubted her.
Yes.
Underestimated her.
And then Penny's accident. If it's out of nowhere.
It does.
We don't get a lot of details at first.
Right.
But that fear...
The worries.
The worry, yeah.
It's so real.
Melody's mom is just distraught.
She is.
And Melody even thinks that Penny might end up like her.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's so powerful about this book.
What do you mean?
It doesn't shy away from from the raw emotion.
Raw emotion, yeah.
You know, Melody's guilt.
Yeah.
Her sense of responsibility, it shows how much empathy she has.
It does.
Even though she's going through so much herself.
Exactly.
It's a good reminder that people with disability...
They feel everything, the full range of emotions.
They're not just defined by their limitations.
Not at all.
And so when we find out that Penny is going to be okay...
That she'll be okay.
The relief.
The relief is huge.
It's huge.
But that experience, it changes Melody.
It really does.
Her own struggles seem smaller now.
Yeah.
Compared to what Penny went through.
It's like it unlocks this
perspective.
This new level of understanding.
Yeah, it shifts her perspective.
And I think that's the power of empathy.
It is.
It can help us, you know...
See things differently.
Yeah, reframe our own experiences.
Absolutely.
And you see that reframing when she goes back to school.
She goes back?
Faces her classmates. Dives into that autobiography project.
Yeah, she's ready.
She's ready.
She's still hurt.
Oh, yeah.
By the quiz team.
But she's not letting it define her.
She's moving forward.
And that last image.
Of Melody at home.
At home.
With her music.
Writing her story.
It's beautiful.
It's so powerful.
It really is.
It's a symbol of...
Self-expression.
Yes, self-expression.
She has a voice.
She has a voice.
She has experiences to share.
And a future to create.
On her own terms.
Yes.
I love that.
Melody's journey is amazing.
It really is.
She goes from feeling like trapped and misunderstood to finding her voice.
And owning it.
It's not just about like... overcoming physical limitation.
No, it's bigger than that.
It's about like changing how society views disability and realizing that her unique perspective is her strength.
Exactly. That's what the book is all about, I think.
Yeah. Dismantling that
that narrow definition of
normal.
Normal. Yeah. It's showing us the beauty of being individuality. Yeah.
Right.
Melody reminds us, too, that true strength is about accepting who you are.
Regardless of what
society
expects. And it also makes us think about our own biases and how we can advocate for
a more inclusive world.
A more inclusive world.
Yes, for everyone.
And, something else I thought about was the role of technology in Melody's life.
Oh, yeah.
Like the Medi-Talker.
The Medi-Talker is huge.
It's not just a, gadget.
Right. It's not just a thing.
It's a lifeline for her.
It's how she connects.
Yeah. Connection, self-expression.
Agency.
Right.
Such a good example of how assistive technology can really empower people.
For power,
break down those barriers.
Communication barriers.
Communication, yes.
So they can really, participate.
Participate fully.
Yeah, in the world.
It makes you think, right?
It does.
About all the ways we could be using technology to make things more equitable and accessible.
For sure.
For everyone.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Melody's world, what are some, key takeaways?
Well, I think the biggest one is resilience.
Resilience, yeah.
I mean, Melody faces so many setbacks.
She does.
So much prejudice.
But she never gives up on learning and connecting.
Yeah, on being herself.
And, believing in herself.
That's so important.
It reminds us that we all have that capacity.
That capacity to overcome.
To overcome and create a meaningful life.
Yeah, no matter the obstacle.
No matter what
gets thrown at you.
And she also teaches us, I think, that we don't have to
fit in to some mold.
Yeah.
To have value.
Dr. Hughley, right.
Right, Dr. Hughley.
He underestimated her.
Completely.
And we do that all the time.
We do.
Make judgments.
Based on
appearances?
Appearances or what we think we know.
Yeah, preconceived notions.
It's a good reminder to
look deeper.
Yeah.
To see the potential.
The potential.
That's in everyone.
Everyone has a story.
Everyone has a story
to
tell.
A perspective.
A perspective and a contribution.
A contribution.
And maybe the most important takeaway is the power of communication.
Communication is key.
For Melody, the Medi-Talker.
It changed everything.
It changed everything.
You let her express herself.
So to the world.
To the world, yeah.
It's so important for building connections.
Understanding.
Empathy.
It reminds us that we all have responsibility to create spaces.
Safe spaces.
Safe spaces where everyone feels empowered.
To communicate.
To share their experiences. And contribute.
So as we finish up this deep dive, I want to leave you with a question.
Ooh, a question?
If you were to write your autobiography, what would be the most important story?
The most important?
You'd want to tell.
What experiences have shaped you?
Yeah.
What voices have influenced your journey?
Think about how Melody's experiences connect to your own life.
How can you challenge assumptions?
How can you advocate for inclusion?
How can you use your voice?
To create a more equitable
and compassionate world.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's